off the tee here, and Robert Lee has gone a good 60 yards past him. Seve's got a very awkward shot here. The ball's not lying particularly well in the rough. The rough's only short, but it's down in the bottom of it. He's obviously going to have a little problem with those leaves just above his ball, obscuring his sight of the ball, and he's got about 170 yards to go. So really not a very nice shot at all.
Overhead, Bernhard Langer has got his 4. So he'll stay at 6 under, and it'll be interesting to see how he keeps his composure. He's got another round tomorrow, and well, he's only 4 off the lead, and reassess himself from being within a stroke. It'll be interesting to see how he plays the last few holes. Now Seve. It's a very difficult second shot. I think if he had an axe and was allowed to do so, he'd probably remove that tree right now. Look of vengeance. Oh, look at that. Might just as well have been in the middle of the fairway. Couldn't have played a better shot. Marvellous recovery. Had to play with the knees far more bent than he would have liked. Down the shaft of the club. Now Robert Lee, who's overcome his own personal problems, having had a 3 over par 7 at the 9th, and instantly hit back with a birdie and 3 pars, so sign of maturity, that. Didn't bounce on as he'd hoped it would.
Fifteenth tee, Vicente Fernandez. Oh, that's trouble for him. Those 2 bunkers there do seem to draw your attention as you stood on this tee. There's no doubt about it. They cut right into the fairway, and Fernandez found one of them. Langer moves his ball right to the other side of the tee. And he's 5 under par, 3 over today, and got a lot of work to do if he wants to. Oh, and that's a very sloppy looking swing from Bernhard. Oh, big trouble. Big trouble. May have a swing though, we'll see.
Sixteenth in the second shot, Rick Hartman, who's 7 under. This recently lengthened hole, now 425 yards, 2 bunkers up by the green. Hartman safely on, very well on.
The last match out, Seve Ballesteros and Robert Lee. And nice crowds following them round. I think anyone who's here today can get a good view of the golf. Good watching course. He certainly went out like a shot out of a gun, young Robert Lee. Not overawed at all at the prospect of playing with a great man. He was 1 shot ahead at the beginning and then started with 2 birdies in the first 3 holes. Got 4 shots ahead at one point after 3 holes of his playing partner, but then it all changed. But he's meeting success and adversity with the same equanimity. So he just 1 over par today. 1 shot behind his playing partner Ballesteros. Bad putt. It'll keep him at 9 under. And 4 holes left to play.
Rick Hartman at the 16th for a birdie. Coles has putted up from a little further away and got a birdie. So Coles at 5 under. Hartman to go 8 under. No. Stays at 7 under.
Seve at 14th. Birdie putt. A bit typical of this man after somewhat wayward tee shot. He can pick up a shot. No, too much. In fact, a rather wild putt. It's gone 2.5 feet by. Played some wonderful golf this year since he's played in the Masters, and I think it's a surprise to him as much as to everybody else. He hasn't actually won anything. He's hardly been out of the top 3 or 4 since the beginning of April, and I suspect very hungry for a win. For 10 under still.
15th hole and Langer in the trees yet again. Very fortunate there to have a swing. You saw his follow through was impeded, but he got the backswing in and really did quite well, although it's bunker trouble. But really was very fortunate to have a shot at all after that wild tee shot. And obviously this man's not going to get on the green from here. And I'm informed, in fact, that this is his 3rd shot. He was in one bunker, went in the other. And the way he looked at that, he wasn't very happy about that one either. So, Vicente Fernandez having problems here on 15.
Now, over there on the right-hand side, Eamon Darcy at the 18th. That's where his 2nd shot finished. He's 6 under par. And if ever anyone can play this shot, this sort of long, floaty or resty pitch, it's this man. Taught to him, no doubt, by great Ted Higgins at Ballybunion so many years ago, whose swing he so resembles. Up, watch this, flick it up, throws it up in the air, and eases its way towards the hole. That, from a bare lie, was a gem of a shot. That was recorded moments ago, and now here he is, trying to pop this in for a birdie 4 to finish at 7 under, which would be the leader thus far. Very simple indeed. Good playing by Eamon Darcy. 67.
On the 15th tee, Robert Lee. It's like a graphite shaft he's got there in his driver. Very much a no-nonsense swing from this lad. Just one behind. Well, the caddy pointed left, and that's trouble. That's big trouble. May have got kicked out. May have hit in there and kicked out. In fact, I'm told it did, so a stroke of luck maybe there for Robert Lee. So tournament leader now, Seve, by 1 shot. Wide. going, and the applause tells you that it's perfect drive. Just look how far that ball's gone compared with the others. Wonderful shot. Up ahead, Vicente Fernandez. Fourth shot. Pulls up very quickly, and an outside chance of a bogey 5. Langer here. Difficult position really, this in the bunker. Ball lying very well, but it may be on a little downslope. Look how he's opened that club face up. Didn't he play it so beautifully? Wonderful shot there from Bernhard Langer, and looks like he's going to save his par.
So a few moments ago, Langer was 9 under, now he's 5 under. Ballesteros is our leader, 10 under par. That's the same score that Lee was on last night at the end of the second round. So the leaders have not pulled away from the rest of the field, and it's allowed people like Eamon Darcy with a 68 today to creep up to 7 under and be not too far out of contention. In fact, not out of contention at all, very much in it. Rick Hartman still battling away, the American, also 7 under, only 3 behind the leader. And young Robert Lee, despite 1 or 2 disasters today, has really held his game together very well.
So Fernandez back on the 15th, needs this for a 5. He'd drop 1 shot should it go in. He's 8 under. And his driver, really, it's the club that gets him into trouble occasionally. I watched him earlier on the first hole hold a very long putt after a wild drive for a par. Refuses to have it, so he'll go to 6. There, Langer taps in, safely in for a 4. He stays 5 under.
Rick Hartman, second of the 17th. It's a short dog leg. Par 4, only 329 yards long, usually an iron off the tee. And that's what Hartman will certainly have played. Then turn half right and play the second in with a wedge or an iron. Well, from that distance, that was a bit wayward.
Robert Lee's tee shot finished right there on 15 after hitting somebody and bouncing back. Clive, what's he lying like?
Well, actually, it's nice to see. He's got a nice, buoyant sort of personality. He found the gentleman that he hit, who had bounced off, and went over and shook his hand. But he's now left with a shot of just over 200 yards. It's not lying too badly, but he's going to have to use a 4 or 5 iron. If he uses a 5, he might be able to fly it straight over the pine ahead of him. If he uses a 4, I think he's going to have to hook it round.
Well, there you are, he went straight over the top. It's whether it's going to be far enough or not. You see the result of that, Clive?
Yes, I think, in fact, it looked quite a high shot. Could have been a 6 iron, and he's short and left of the green in the semi-rough.
There we are then. So playing partner Ballesteros flies his second shot on the way. It is ideally placed. Yeah, oh, it's a good shot. Another chance there for a Ballesteros birdie. And he really does look well this week. I was talking to him the other day. He looks supremely fit and very ready indeed for a victory.
On the 16th tee, Fernandez struggling a bit. 3 shots, in fact, dropped in the last 2 holes. He's okay.
SEVE Ballesteros, 10 under. He's not had a birdie since the 7th hole. So you see that other people around him are not taking advantage of that. Robert Lee has, well, he took that 7 at the par 4 9th, dropped 3 strokes at that hole alone. So if Lee could have just avoided 1 or 2 little disasters, he'd still have his lead. Eamon Darcy has finished with a 68. Rick Hartman's still out there. And as Peter was saying, Wayne Westner of South Africa had a 65. He was in the 3rd group out today, went out at 8:33, playing with John O'Leary, and came in with a 65 to equal Lee's course record 65 of yesterday.
Gordon Brand finishes off at the 18th for a par, 6 under, and in a nice position for tomorrow.
Back on the 15th, and young Robert Lee. A great examination for him today, playing with Seve, and whatever happens, he's going to learn a lot. He got off to a real wingding of a start, birdieing the 1st and 3rd, and then started letting the old mind get in the way and dropped a couple, and Seve got an eagle, and it's been a bit like that for him, but it's learning all the time for this young man, and he's doing very well up to now. Little light there. Rick Hartman made his par on 17. But this young fella's got to make that, otherwise the great Spaniard is going to jump 2 shots in front at least. Seve just 1 under today. Few birdies, few bogeys. It's been a bit of an up and down day for him. Wonderful eagle though on the 4th. That's where he got a 3-shot. He's got 3 shots on his playing partner there on the 4th. Young Lee took 6, Seve made 3. So it doesn't take much catching up when you're doing it in that manner. This then for a birdie 3 on the 15th. Never really threatened. Never really threatened, and he's having a go at his caddy, saying he can't believe it, but there we are.
Langer at the 16th. Second shot now only 5 under. 4 shots gone, 4 shots dropped in the last 5 holes or so.
Now then, can Lee make this to just stay within 1 shot? He's 2 shots ahead of Darcy and Hartman, who are in joint 3rd place right now. So, goes to 8 under. SEVE Ballesteros, 2-shot lead going to 16.
The 18th and Sandy Lau, third shot. Awkward one too, pitching over the bunker. Not a lot of green to pitch on, and judged very sweetly indeed. Lau 3 under. Fernandez second, the 16th, punch low and hooked round and under the trees. And scuttle through our back right. Not bad though. Fernandez 6 under. Now back live. Scores have been very good today, and this hole, one of the two that's been lengthened, only by 25 yards or so. It's now 425 yards. Dogleg round the corner. And this really is an oasis. I remember many years ago talking with Henry Longhurst, who was a Bedfordshire man. Seve's back on the tee, spanking one down. And Henry always said this was a real oasis. Longhurst and Skinner, I'm sure a lot of you remember the old family furniture business on the corner site in Bedford. We all miss him very much. Fernandez now, the 16th, and a little chip from light rough. And I think he got the grass between the ball and blade, or right hand scooped it up. Didn't play that very well at all. 25 players so far out of the 57 who have completed their scores have broken par, which is a credit to the condition of the course and the gentleness of the playing conditions today. A little bit of breeze, not bad at all. And we'll go quickly to the 18th and look to see if our champion, our Open champion Sandy Lau, can finish off with a birdie 4. If he can, he'll finish at 4 under for the 3 rounds. No, and another one slips by. Only a par. He stays at 4 under. I beg your pardon, 3 under. 73, not one of his best. Fernandez at the 16th for a par. Nearly. Well, I don't think he really deserved a par there. He won't think so, of course. I better keep out of his way. But the fact is that he was all over the place, and perhaps lucky to only drop 1. Fernandez back to 5 under, and that's 4 strokes dropped in the space of just 3 holes. Quite extraordinary how often after 2 rounds you get a situation where the leader is 8, 10, 12 under par, and you tend to think that's the way they're going to continue, and so the winning score will be 22, 24 under par. Not so, you see. Robert Lee was 10 under, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if 10 under or thereabouts doesn't lead tonight, and maybe tomorrow the winning score might be only 12 or 13 under. You never know, but it's interesting how the nerves tighten up as the days go by. Langer for a 3. He needs a good finish now. He's back to 5 under. He's dropped 4 strokes this 9 so far. And for someone who doesn't putt very well, he putts very well. Goes to Princess Michael's hairdresser as well. It looks rather nice. That's a bouffant. No, it's not. I don't know. Hair by John of Hazelmere. Down the fairway, Ballesteros, who is now leading by 2. Nick DePaul is caddy there from the United States, one of the great characters of the world's golfing circuits, and a pretty regular caddy for Ballesteros when one of the brothers isn't with him. I think it's fascinating to watch his face and his eyes and how he clicks it all into place. Tough man. Beautifully poised and balanced there, but has he pushed him a bit? I think he might like that. Oh, good line, but not enough. Oh, hello, hello. Somebody might get a bit of a rocket in a minute if this can... Error in judgment. He's a good 15, 18 yards short of the flag.
And Robert Lee another 20 yards down the fairway. He's got 160 yards to go. I think we'll see him set this one off to the right and draw the ball back. The branches are just overhanging and slightly impeding his line. And I would think he's going to use a 7-iron.
Nice, easy address position. He likes it too. Now, is it curving in? Yes, nicely played. And what a lovely golfing prospect this young man is. 18th now, and Rick Hartman and Neil Coles finishing up. Hartman from the downslope, second shot. 7 under par, so what he wouldn't give for a nice 4 here and a birdie. Again, a nice simple swing. Shouldered that up a bit, shoved it right, I fancy. Yes, that'll be in the bunker if it runs. Pretty full house today, and why not? We've got an excellent field, and here's someone who's been in many excellent fields, Neil Coles. Third shot from the front of the 18th, one of his favourite little bump and runs to within a yard or so of the hole. Neil Coles 5 under, level par today, so he wants that putt for around a 71. Hartman from the sand now. Coles will mark, and Hartman left with, for these players, players of this caliber, an easy bunker shot if the ball's lying all right. It was a little short and quick, but he got it out, but he was a little quick on that one and left it, as you can see, well short.
Bernhard Langer at the 17th. Dog leg left to right, and for, well, just to knock it up the first part of the fairway. That's fine. Shot of about 100 yards, 120 yards to go.
16th and Seve, long putt from the front of the green. Tournament leader by 2. And from this range down in 2 is good enough, I fancy. Short again. Seve marks, and we'll go ahead to the 18th. Rick Hartman, 7 under this for a birdie, 4 this to go, 8 under the card. Toppled in, a good 4 for Rick Hartman, 8 under par, and he'll be in one of the latest matches to go off tomorrow.
Fernandez playing with Langer. It's he who will play first, play his second shot first at the 17th. Good for distance, but would expect to be a little more accurate on a shot of that length.
16th, and Seve, after that rather short long putt, has this to stay at 10 under par. Lee has two putted for a par, and so has Seve. Stays two ahead.
Langer second to 17. Looks though he's getting his tournament going again. 30 at the last, a very good chance for another one here.
And at the 18th, one of Britain's finest. Neil Coles, this for a birdie 4. This to finish 6 under. This for a round of 71. Very nicely done indeed. 70, 69, 71. Good playing by Neil Coles.
The 17th hole, only 329 yards long, a dogleg from left to right, and when the wind's behind and the tee's a little bit forward, they go over that tree at the center of your picture. It's now on the right of your picture. They'll take the drive and try and get to the front edge of the green. There's a huge bunker guarding the whole of the right-hand side. And having watched a few people having a go at it over the last 3 days, nobody's really gained from trying to cut the corner. More threes have been made with an iron off the tee and a little pitch in. Tight to the right-hand rough, but now that's perfect. Pin right at the back of this green, so a shot of about 80, 90 yards left. Robert Lee, just a couple behind, and done very well today, and will be also well up there at the end of play today. Drawn that a little bit. Yes, no, another good bounce again, and he's all right. If it had a straight bounce, that would have gone beyond, and he'd have been blocked out for his second shot. Up on the green, Fernandez. This would be a birdie, should he get it. To be a good putt. A resilient player. He seems to have these disasters in the middle of rounds when he gets into contention, but he's quite capable of bouncing back and having another good run tomorrow. This is the first year we've seen much of Robert Lee. He's a tall lad and he's got quite a flat swing, bent knees, swings round his shoulders rather than up. Very simple, uncomplicated swing. Good position there. And drives down through and begins to straighten up as he gets to the ball. Head stays down until well after the ball has gone. And as with most of these players, very high finish with the hands. Langer, 4 behind at the moment. But he will know that that's very much catchable up. tomorrow, especially if he can finish 3-3-4. And that's the 3-3 bit. 2 consecutive birdies. And the 18th, the par 5, which is in reach in 2. So he's definitely on the move again. And the last match is behind them on the fairway, and Ballesteros will have seen that, and I suspect he, Langer, is still the man that Ballesteros will be most concerned about. You see that big bunker on the right which bites into the green and has caused some problems if you go for the green off the tee and end up to the right of it. It's a long, thin green, pin cut right at the back. Green's 35 yards long. Not bad. A little bit shy, and you see, such are the expectations and beliefs in themselves that Seve is really quite cross with that one. Quite a lot close to the green. Good shot.
So Severiano Ballesteros leads this field towards the end of the 3rd round of the British Masters with a nice 2-stroke cushion with just 2 holes left to play. Smattering of 68s today. Eamon Darcy, you know about, finished 7 under par. And then Gordon Brown Jr., 69 for him today, 6 under. Christy O'Connor Jr., 69. Sam Torrance had a 68 day, to be 5 under, just off our board. Brian Marchbank started with 3 birdies today and came in eventually with a 68. To be 5 under for the 3 rounds to play. So there's a lot of very good scoring been going on here.
Now, last year, Seve was in a very similar position to this during coming to the end of the 3rd round. The last year we had one day washed out, first day washed out, and they played 36 holes on the last day, and he was in the lead with 2 or 3 holes to play, but dropped shots and then really did nothing in the 4th round.
18th tee, Bernard Langer, 7 under. Very demanding finishing drive from this back tee in the trees. And he's hit a corker. Down the hill it goes.
Ballesteros surveying his putt. A lot of these greens are slightly dome-shaped, or sort of the upturned saucer. And that's always quite a difficult putt to read. Very much you've got to get the pace and the line absolutely right for the ball to fall in. Lesson again. If you can't get the concentration right, start again. Even though you don't need to mark the ball, begin the entire routine all over. No. And he really hasn't threatened over the last few holes. These putts, he's not striking them quite right, because he wouldn't misjudge the line that much. And well, it's a 4, he stays 10 under, but he would feel that he really ought to be making a 3 at a hole of that length. Now Robert Lee just a couple behind. This to get within 1. A bit of a dribble. He'll stay at 8 under.
The 18th. And Langer's tee shot didn't get the bounce forward that one would have thought down that side. In fact, it didn't run more than 8 or 10 yards. So he's got to slide a 3-wood off the downslope, aims it left, cuts it back. Now, has he got it right? I think it's a little too straight, and it's going to be bunker just, and leaves him an awkward one just on the downslope, on the edge of the bunker. He didn't get a low slider, which he really wanted, went a bit too high. Now, Fernandez went more to the left-hand side of the fairway, and he got a good run down the bank. Clive?
Well, Fernandez is not one of the longest hitters on the tour, but he's certainly hit a very long drive here, and he's left himself a shot of about 215 yards, so he should comfortably get home with an iron club from there. And I would think he can probably get home with a 3.
The gap between the bunkers is probably no more than 18 or 20 yards. So if you're going to run a shot through, the target is quite small. It's just there. You can see the outside of the right-hand bunker, so there's not a lot of room, and I suspect Fernandez will pitch this well short, hoping to run it through the gap. Low one, but he cut it, and I don't think, unless he's lucky, he'll bounce the bunker. No, he won't. On the tee, 2 groups on this hole. Seve. Oh, he's a bit twitchy about that. Aimed it right, he's tweaked it left, and he's, oh, a friendly little bounce off the tuft of grass. He's probably thinking that's out of bounds at this moment, but we know it's not. He's just looking for some hopeful sign that it's okay. Robert Lee. He doesn't know whether it's out of bounds either, so. Now, Sev is playing another one, but it won't be necessary. He might get a friendly whistle in a minute to say all is okay. Robert Lee's tee shot is okay. Sevi will be more than delighted to know, having shoved that one down the right, he'll be more than delighted to know that his first one is in play, and he should be able to nudge it out some 60 or 70 yards or more, and certainly get no more than a 5, providing, of course, he can swing alongside the wire that runs down the bridle path which separates the clubhouse from this, what is usually the first hole, our 18th for this event. You can see how these two players, Langer and Ballesteros, allied to all the other good players here, draw the crowds. Langer's a third. And, well, I think he's about to take over the mantle of, from Gary Player as far as being the best bunker player in the world is concerned. Beautiful player. They're both in the same bunker. Fernandez is no shop egg at these either. But he's in the corner of the bunker where there's not much sand. Saying how well the course has come on. There's still work to do. One of them is getting these bunkers forked up. So there's a little bit more sand under the ball. That was a hard chip out of there, and you might see him just thump the just testing the sand. Hard corner there, but he's still only 6 or 7 feet away. Well, behind them, and close to the bridle path, that's Seve's ball, and you can see how close he is to the wire, the barbed wire. I think he might be able to squirt this one out. Clive's there.
Yes, he can chip it forward. It's the stance that's the problem, and the wire on that fence is barbed wire, so he's going to have a pretty prickly shot here.
Seve asking the people just to move back a fraction.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. All the way. All the way. Okay. Not the ones on the green.
Beware the barbed wire. I think one of the few things Seve is not short of are a few pairs of slacks, so I don't think he'll be too worried whether he just snags his bottom on the wire, but he'll survey his shot, think what he's going to do, and we'll go up and see Santi Fernandez attempting to get his birdie 4. So, a par 5. Vicente, who stays at 5 under, and 4 strokes dropped in the last 5 holes. Now Seve, I think he'll just punch him out. Yes, and he's done very well indeed. That shows the strength of his hands and arms. He's got it up some 60, 70, 80 yards or so. Now Langer, 2.5 footer for a birdie. This would be his 3rd birdie in a row. If he gets it, it would take him to 8 under. That would be par for the day. He started at 8 under. And this for a 72. And that with an 8 at a par 5 is not too bad. Very much in the hunt. The whole the gallery down this 18th hole and round the grandstand. Seve's pitched out. He's some 8 iron, 9 iron from the green. Robert Lee's 2nd shot. He's hit a beauty. Dead straight and should get a good bounce. Yes, that's a gem. Lovely shot. Very good chance for an eagle 3. Seve now in the middle of the fairway. His caddy, Nick DePaul, has gone forward, done the measuring, taken the yardage, will give his master the distance in a moment, and I must confess between them on the last 2 holes they've made errors in judgment. They've been short both times, and from Seve's line in, he doesn't want to be short on this one, particularly if he's dead on the pin or just right of it, because he could well catch the front bunker. That's the player's view of it. Our commentary position high up there above the right-hand stand, the hospitality pavilions on the left-hand side, which over the last few years have become a great feature of professional golf tournaments. It's a splendid tented village here, lots of things to interest one. You see, Seve's not just thinking of not taking 6, he's really working very hard on a birdie 4, getting down in 2 from here. It might be 125 yards or so, something in that order from the flag. So it's almost like playing a short hole now. He's just got to play this nice simple shot, simple looking shot. Pop the putt in. Oh no, no, he shoved that, but he's pulled it back. It went right, he's drawn it in, and he's drawn it rather well. That started 10 or 15 yards to right. That was the most extraordinary shot.
Well, while they walk to the 18th green, let's just consider what people have been doing here today, including, for a start, the defending champion, Lee Trevino, who won this event last year with a fantastic Eagle 3 with the 3 wood at the 18th last year. Today, Trevino started 3 over par, came in with a 71, and so is 2 over par for the 3 rounds played. Sandy Lyle, the Open champion, started 4 over today, finished with the 73. So Sandy is now at 4 under. He started, is now 3 under.
Well, the final scenes on this 3rd day, and well, what scenes they might be. Robert Lee, who started the day in the lead, and despite a few minor hiccups along the way, still in 2nd place, 2 strokes behind Seve, but a chance here for an Eagle 3. Should he get it, of course, he would go to 10 under, and Seve would have a putt 8 or 9 feet or so for a birdie, which would take him to 11 under. So very tightly packed at the top of the leaderboard. Robert Lee had a 7 at the 9th, 6 at the 4th. He's had a few up and downers, and with Langer taking 8 at the 13th. There's been a lot of good and a lot of shaky stuff here today. The Lee brothers working together on this one. 2 brothers together there. Brothers a 2 handicapper. Good temperament Lee seems to have. He's certainly not been afraid today. And here he goes for an Eagle 3 at the last. Not bad. Oh, he didn't hit it. Didn't hit it. Dead on line. A birdie 4. So he will finish at 9 under. And whatever happens, he will be alone in 2nd place. To see a smiling face. Robert Lee, 26, just a year older than Tony Jacklin when he won the Open Championship, so perhaps they're taking longer to get going these days than they did all those years ago. Seve. for a birdie, having almost gone out of bounds. He had to play a provisional ball. And now, knowing him, it's almost odds on that he's going to pop this in. Of course, I mean, was it ever in doubt? It never looked like anything else. A different looking Ballesteros walking off the green than after he'd hit his tee shot, but that takes him to 11 under, 2 strokes in the lead, and another cracking day's golf has gone by, and what a good one in prospect tomorrow.
Indeed, it should be. So the tournament leader, Severiano Ballesteros, with a 70 today. Robert Lee, 73, is 2 strokes behind now, 9 under. Rick Hartman of the States, a 70 today, 8 under. And Bernhard Langer, a 72, also 8 under. So none of the people at the very top of the leaderboard who were there at the start today, not one of them has broken 70. Well, 1 or 2 of them, I suspect, will tomorrow.
And highlights from today's international golf, introduced by Harry Carpenter.